Sudha ma'am. How are you?
Hi. Fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. Yeah,
Can
okay.
you hear me as well?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Not at all. My pleasure.
So you must have seen the other video, so that gives you a fair idea of what
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
like. So,
yeah,
ma'am,
yeah,
we are just doing this as an initiative to get out the message that's important for people to know, right?
yeah,
This conversation is not only about COVID-19. Of course, this is the situation where we need more awareness, but the conversation can be around care in general and all the initiatives you take. Uh,
okay.
and all that you do through the organization and how you support animals, right? More
Yeah,
of that awareness which we are proud of.
thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'll start recording now if you're ready, or
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
happy to have a general chat just for you to know more about me, because we've been talking on calls. I think this is the first
I
time we're
know,
actually
yeah,
seeing each other.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Any
Okay,
questions?
no, go ahead. No problem at all. No, not at all. It's only about the work that we're doing now, so no problem.
Yeah. So let's keep it like a very general interaction, like how we would talk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the objective of Pet
Okay.
Talks is that we'll keep it like a general interaction. The objective is when someone sees
Sure.
the. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah. No, tell me. Yeah,
So when the objective is when someone sees the video, they should be able to feel like,
yeah.
okay, I can connect with what they're talking. Which is possible only
Okay.
with a very casual interaction.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I hope you had lunch.
Yes, yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Great. So I'm going to start recording now. So Sudha ma'am, we're very happy to have you as part of Pet Talks. CARE has been a proud thing for Bangaloreans and for all of us in the animal welfare space. We are just so happy about all the work that you do. And inviting you for Pet Talks is my pleasure, because it's great for me to be able to tell more people about what you do at CARE and introduce you. As a person, you're very well known in the entire animal fraternity. But I think through this video, I'm just happy that people will also get to see you and know more about you.
Thank you so much, Shruti, because the pleasure is entirely ours. We do a lot of work, but then it's when people recognize the work that we do that the happiness also comes. Like, okay, yeah, we're reaching out to more people. That means more animals. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Great. So, ma'am, would you take us through CARE, a bit about CARE and also about yourself? As much as I know a lot, I think it'll be good for listeners also to know about CARE, starting from what the full form of CARE is and how it started.
CARE stands for Charlie's Animal Rescue Center. And when in 2013, I was with CUPA, for 17 years as a trustee. It's a very big animal NGO, one of the biggest in India. And in 2012, December, I felt I needed to do something more because Bangalore didn't have a dedicated trauma unit for accident cases. And that's something it badly needed because as we get bigger and Bangalore expanded, we found that there were more accidents, more cases of dogs being sick and lying on the roads unattended because everybody's in such a big hurry to go about their work. So we said that we needed something which dedicated trauma center. That's when we started this. So when we all got together and sat around and looked at each other and said, like, what do we call ourselves? Because that's the first thing. And we said, Charlie is what we have in common. Like, I'm Charlie's mom, Dr. Lohit is his wife, somebody else is his aunt. And we said, what a brave dog like Charlie, and why not dedicate ourselves to Charlie and the work that he did? Because he was this, he's a person who changed my life actually quite a bit. And he was this Indian dog, puppy actually, in 2002 when I first saw him, three-legged. He'd been run over and his hind leg was very badly crushed. And he was brought to the CUPA shelter. And when you work with animals, Shruti, and I say this to everybody, that when you work so closely as we do hands-on with animals, you have these defining moments or miracle moments in your life where one animal can change your entire life. And that's what happened with with me and Charlie. And he was this dog who, he was supposed to be euthanized because at that time, veterinary medicine wasn't so advanced, and the professor said that there's no point in keeping him. He won't survive the surgery to amputate his leg. But he looked at us, three of us, and who were handling him, and he said, it was like he was looking right into our souls, and he said, I want to live, and I am going to live. So Dr. Lovett performed the surgery, amputation. He survived that, became a very naughty dog. My ex-trustees at CUPA can vouch for that, that he was so naughty over there, bitten everybody, bitten the electrician, bitten so many people. And then one fine day when we had the specially able children over at the CUPA shelter, he was so amazing with them. It was a changed dog. It was not Charlie we knew. He was so gentle with them. He allowed them to touch him, pet him, do everything. And then I decided, why not, use him for animal assisted therapy, because that's what I was doing.
Right.
And we started off with Vishwas, the school for specially able children run by the Air Force for their employees.
Right.
And it was like he found his calling in life. And with him, I have traveled a journey of about 9 years working with specially able children.
Wow.
We've helped over 300 to 350 children, have the confidence to move on in life. So we thought, like, here's a dog who showed the world that you don't need a pedigree, you don't need to be beautiful, you don't need to be handsome, you don't need to have fancy anything to do what you want to do. If it's there inside you, you can do it. So what we always tell ourselves, and we dedicate everything we do at CARE to Charlie, because if Charlie can, you can. That's what we follow. So that's the story of CARE. Now, CARE, actually, we run mainly an animal hospital. We have at any given time, over 180 patients, dogs and cats, undergoing treatment for accidents, tumors, fever, not eating, renal failure. It could be anything.
Right.
And we do surgeries. We have a very good diagnostic facility with blood analyzer, X-ray, and laser therapy, hydrotherapy. We do ultrasound scanning, a lot of things like that. So, and the other side, we do adoptions. The shelter part of it, we have abandoned dogs we take in, we rehome them, puppies, kittens. We have a neonatal center also where the really tiny neonates are incubated and that thing. So all in all, it's a whole lot of work. We do humane education. We do about 15 sessions every month in schools, a minimum of 15 sessions, because if you don't start young, if you create a whole generation of kind people, then it's really good for our country. So we do that also, as well as animal assisted therapy a bit.
Absolutely. I think the motive is very clear and the intent is very clear and clearly shows in all the work that you do as well. I know the amount of efforts that have gone in, particularly, interestingly, my boy's name is also Charlie. It's a pure coincidence.
Great.
I always, both me and my husband, like you said, dogs bring magic into our lives. It's a similar story with me as well, because the whole idea of flow for me started with Charlie, because the journey of us looking to adopt a dog versus actually getting one as a puppy from a breeder is something which will remain a mark in our lives always. As much as we are happy that we have Charlie today, I think he was meant to be with us, which is why it happened that way.
Yes.
But since then we always think that the next time, if somebody comes to us saying we want to get a breeder, a dog, or all of it, we should be very careful about whom we connect them to, because breeding is not bad, or the ethical breeding is okay. But by getting puppies from random breeders, I think we are just encouraging a different segment altogether, which is not required. Right. So, after that, when we came across CARE, we were like, how did we not do enough research? Like, how did we not find out? So we still take it as our, learning that we could have done better research. But like I said, nevertheless, I think Charlie was meant to come into our lives. So that's how it happened.
Yes, absolutely. And when he brings so much happiness, what more do you want?
Exactly. And we learn so much from them, end of the day. And whatever we're doing today with Flope is with that objective of how the industry needs, more professionals. We need good quality. We need different people to support each other. So that's the learning we carry from it. So also, ma'am, you've been doing a lot of work around COVID-19 situation. Am I right that you're still at the center as we speak now? Like I see the background.
Yes, very much, very much. Yes.
It's so nice to see you all working so hard even during this time. How has it been for you COVID-19?
Very tough also, because it's been a little tough because of, you have to make your staff safe, because it's not just about the animals, it's also about the people who take care of them. So we have staff staying on in the premises. These are the attenders who actually look after the animals. So keeping them happy, keeping them motivated is very difficult because once you finish their work at the end of the day, you've got to really do something for them. So we keep them engaged with activities and games and all kinds of things and cable TV and all those. And that is there, but also getting supplies, going out on the roads. Yeah, these passes and the police permits, those have been a little difficult, but otherwise we managed to get it done. And we find now that our caseload has doubled. It's like too many trauma cases, and each one is more heartbreaking than the other. So it's been a very mentally also very exhausting time, because every time the ambulance draws in and the dogs are taken out, or even the cat number of cat cases are on the increase, because I think people are not around, so everyone's noticing these animals. These are the ones that would have got neglected otherwise and just died in a ditch or something like that. But right now, people have seen them, brought it to our notice. It could be the BBMP workers, it could be the police, anybody. So that way, it's been very exhausting. And we also got ourselves, the other thing that we did during this time is we did some enhance the feeding. So we connected with feeders, because right now you don't have the bakeries, you don't have the eateries, the small restaurants, you don't have all these places, and you don't have people feeding dogs, because the regular ones, the little chai shop person and all who feed. So we've started feeding a feeding program, and it's an initiative called Stray Happy. It was sponsored and started by a group, and we've taken it over, and we've been feeding almost like around 700 dogs per day, in addition to what we have at the shelter. So that's quite a, it's a big responsibility, and the food has to reach everyone at the right time, and so that way.
That's amazing and very inspiring. So how big is the team that's working on all of these projects right now, like at the center and the volunteers?
Yeah, at the center we have, as usual, we have about 30 people working. We have the attenders, we have 2 veterinarians, we have the managers, everyone in position, and everyone's been coming now for the last few weeks. Everyone's back at work, because the workload has increased, and everyone's realized that there's no point in staying at home. And at outside with the feeders, we have about 15 of them, and they've been each area designated, each area of Bangalore. So they feed whatever they can. We tell them, don't kill yourself, because do only what you can, because in the end, at the end of the day, you have to look after yourself also. And by going around, if you get infected or anything happens, it's a huge responsibility. So they also have to stay safe.
Right. I think you're also proving that animals don't spread COVID, right? You live with so many of them. You spend your entire day with them.
Yes.
I
So
think
if that was the case, which, we get a lot of calls. Like yesterday, we got a call from a person who said that, you see, I have so many dogs on the road, and now the virus is there. So I asked him, which virus? He said, the coronavirus. So I said, have you been hugging them? If you are infected, please don't go near them, because they're safe and you are absolutely unsafe. He said, no, I'm not infected, but I'm scared if I can get something from them. So we had to sit down and explain. You're educated. You can't get anything from them. Only you can pass it on to them if you're infected. So stay away from them if you are infected. That's the main thing.
yeah, because it's it's also about the collars, the harnesses, the leash. It's not them as them, but it's whatever they use around, which is also used by humans.
Yeah.
So we've also been telling people that we should be more responsible than them, because like when we go out for walk, someone comes to pet them. That is where we need to kind of be careful and not let anybody come and pet them on the road, play with them.
Yeah, keep them away. Yes, keep them away from strangers and people you don't know.
Yeah. So also, ma'am, I also have read in the past about the number of adoptions you've encouraged through CARE, right? You keep doing these regular programs about adoption drives, or you've had some really good influencers come and adopt from you all. How has that helped the entire community and the entire ecosystem? Because what I believe is, when we have someone who's known and who's looked up to in the celebrity space, they kind of influence a lot of people to also think about adoptions. And I think getting that message out about adoptions is a great thing, and awareness among people, right? That you don't have to bring a dog home as a puppy. You can adopt a dog. Doesn't necessarily have health issues. So how have you been able to drive so many adoptions through CARE, and what is your suggestion for all of us to be able to encourage and motivate people to adopt?
So the main thing is, like, we're very dedicated towards our approach towards adoptions, because our pups that we give for adoption, so the dogs are all, they've had a blood test, they're completely safe, they're vaccinated twice, the puppies, The adult dogs are vaccinated, sterilized, everything. So we're very careful about what we give. So when they do go to a new home, they go with a complete set of medical records. So that way your adoption is very ethical. And no one is saying that, you've just dumped a dog on us or something like that, and we don't know its background. So that part is okay. The other thing is like we just push it because they deserve a home more than anyone else. A breed pup will always find a home. A breed dog can easily find a home. But in these, and there are breeds, there are whatever indigenous animals, and if we are not going to support them and push them, then there's no point in the work that we do. And the more you take them off the streets and more homes that they find, the less dogs on the street. So that you're actually creating that space so that numbers come down on the roads, and things are easier for the dogs on the road, and the adult dogs they can manage, but the pups can't fend for themselves. But it's very tough, and we are very fortunate that we've had quite a few celebrities endorse our work. Right. And of course, starting with Mr. Virat Kohli, who 3 years ago, I remember it was in April 3 years ago that he came, and he was so impressed with and he loved the pups, and he spent, I think, a lot of his time playing with pups in the adoption section. Especially there was one little pup called George, which immediately found a home thanks to Virat. So like that, we've had a lot of celebrities, over the years coming in and being very like Rakshit Shetty, for example. Right. He's such an example of an animal lover, and he came in and he did this really very sweet little message also, asking people to adopt indie pups from shelters and not to go buy pups. So it's really helped. It's really, really helped our campaign.
I think that is great. I think, people like Virat Kohli and Rakshit Shetty, like you mentioned, they are the best people to set an example for the rest of us, because they have a wider reach and they have people who look up to them. So they kind of set examples for a lot of us. And, and it also shows that CARE has also done that kind of work to be able to get so many dogs find homes. And I think there's a lot of effort that goes into adoptions. It's not like, okay, you find a pup, here's your home, just take them and go, right? It's not that.
No, it's not. We have a committee, and I have to commend my volunteers for this. We have a very, very good dedicated team of volunteers, and we have a few of them who are an adoption committee. So they do all the background checks, everything, and then the person comes in, and then they do the counseling also. And it doesn't end with, taking the dog home. So we have follow-ups. My manager keeps them. He calls them continuously, checks on them, hand-holding them through so many things. All this we do. So it's not just about taking it home, filling the form, taking the vaccination records, and then, it's a relationship that starts from when the pup goes home.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. The objective of this video is for me to hope that more people know about CARE and all that you do, in addition to all those who already know about you. And I insist and encourage more people to come and adopt dogs and pets from you all. I think we need to come together as a community. So thank you so much for telling us your story, ma'am, and keep sharing more stories which could inspire a lot of us. Lastly, you are doing great work, and the least we can do is probably support in any way that we can, in terms of volunteering or donation. So if anybody wishes to donate, what is the best way to go about it? Can they contact you or anybody from the team?
Yeah, they can contact us, but they can also, it's more easier to go to the website, charlie-care.com, and it's very simple to donate to the website. They can do that, and there are different causes listed out on the website. Someone wants feeding, someone wants passive adoption, everything is there on the website. You should do it through that.
Sure. So we will share all the information as well. And congratulations on all the good work and all the inspiring stories, ma'am. We look forward to many more.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. And do visit us as soon as the lockdown is over.
For sure. For sure. Take care, ma'am. Bye-bye.